Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pick of video. Comic book edition. Just wanted to share with you guys the comic books that I picked up this last month. Not that many books actually, not that much released, which is good because, you know, comic book prices are going up. And yeah, it's kind of hard to keep this expensive hobby. I'm still going to do it, but I am thinking of cutting down some books, but we'll see. If all of the books start being $4.99, I'm going to seriously consider it. But I picked up The Amazing Spider-Man issue 7. This continues the Mr. Negative storyline. And in this one, Cloak and Dagger have been inverted by Mr. Negative. They're now bad guys working for him. So yeah, this is interesting. I've mentioned before I have my issues with them making Peter Parker this international Tony Stark kind of guy. I'm happy that I'm happy that he's reaching his full potential, and you know, he's using his genius a lot more. But yeah, this is it's hit or miss. Picked up the last issue of Aliens Vampirella. Again, a very interesting crossover with Vampirella, which is a character I've always been curious about. And the Xenomorphs, and in this one they introduce a Vampirella was infected by a facehugger and it grew into a vampire alien queen, so they're fighting that while they're also dealing with the resurgence of a vampire queen. So it has queens and everything. It ends kind of anticlimactically, but yeah, the ending was the only thing that disappointed me out of that. Picked up Batman issue 48. And Batman issue 49, and it's already starting to show that Bruce Wayne is coming back as Batman. But he has a very interesting conversation with the Joker. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if that happened in the last issue, issue 47, but I'm pretty sure it was 48. But yeah, you know, Bruce Wayne is starting to remember that he's Batman, but they still haven't explained how he and the Joker survived their last encounter, but they're already building that Batman's going to return. Bruce Wayne, at least, is going to return as Batman. But it's going to be interesting because all his knowledge of Batman, everything he's learned, everything he knew how to do is down the drain. This is way more better. I already knew it was going to be epic, but it's a good read. And this is Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Still looking forward to a fight between the Shredder and Batman. And in this one, he at the end of this, he's going to team up with Ra's al Ghul. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, because Ra's al Ghul is part of the is leader of the League of Assassins, which is basically kind of like this covert ninja team, and the Foot Clan is supposedly that's what it's supposed to do. So yeah, this series is amazing. It's really, really good. And every time I go pick up my comic books, the comic book clerk says that this book's been sold out, so I'm really lucky that I was able to find one. Picked up Deadpool Split Second Part 2. It's one of 3, I think. Love the Back to the Future reference. This is pretty cool. And him and Cable who has been announced, or who was announced at the end of the trailer that they do want to include Cable. So that would be pretty cool. This is a good, fun read. I like this one a lot, and the 3rd issue is the last issue that's going to come out, but hopefully that will be pretty good. Picked up Spider-Man and Deadpool, and in this one, Spider-Man, the current Spider-Man, and Miles Morales team up with Deadpool, and Deadpool wants to kill off Peter Parker because of something. This is funny. This is funny too. I'm liking this one a lot. This is, I think, it's a 6-issue series. Picked up Simpsons Comics 225. Simpsons Comics, the series itself was in hiatus. I don't know. It's been a while since an issue released. The last issue I picked up was that Grandpa one, and that was the only one that came out in 2 months. But yeah, love the Simpsons. Big fan of the Simpsons, and I love the comic book. And it's still $2.99. Picked up Star Wars Darth Vader issue 16. Love the cover. The cover's pretty good. I don't know how long Salvador Larroca is going to be in the title. I want him to be in the title for as long as the title lasts. In Vader Down, Darth Vader lost his archaeologist flunky, So now he sends a bunch of bounty hunters to kill her because she she has dealings with Vader. I hope she survives somehow, because that was a cool character. Star Wars 15, the issue after Vader Down, once again visits Tatooine, and part of the life of Obi-Wan while he was in Tatooine. Good issue, good issue. I like these breakaway titles. I don't know if Marvel's kind of working in the idea of doing a Ben Kenobi solo series. Speaking of Obi-Wan, this picked up Obi-Wan and Anakin. This is again, like I mentioned last comic book video, it's interesting that Marvel is willing to touch upon the prequels, because a lot of people hate the prequels. I'm sorry to say they're part of the Star Wars saga. Good or bad, even though I agree that the first one for the majority is pretty bad. It has good elements, like the pod race and the fight with Darth Maul. Overall, I agree it's a bad movie. Clone Wars 2 also has elements. Revenge of the Sith is by far the best one. But you can't erase it, It's interesting that Marvel is going back into this. And this is the story of Obi-Wan and Anakin back when he was a Padawan before Episode 2. And they're dealing with this planet that's never heard of a Jedi. So I hope they do a few more of those. Picked up, and it's funny that I'm showing showcasing this first because it's the one I enjoyed the most. Superman Lewis and Clark with the pre-52 Superman. I love this book. This is the Superman that I grew up with, and I hope they keep this Superman in the New 52. So this is a good read. And this is the Superman from the New 52. He's been powerless for a while now, and he thinks that he can repower himself with kryptonite. I don't know how that's gonna work, but yeah. Picked up Swamp Thing. This is gonna be a miniseries, 5-issue miniseries if I'm correct, and it has Swamp Thing fighting a zombie, so that's pretty cool. And I hope this series does well because I would love to see Swamp Thing back. Picked up Extraordinary X-Men issue 6, and the team is gonna travel as a way to escape from the Terrigen Mists. They're going to travel to a different world, weird world. I have no idea what that is. But that's where the X-Men are thinking of setting up shop. I love the artwork. Well, what little Humberto Ramos does. But it's interesting what they're doing. They said that they weren't going to do it. That they weren't going to separate the X-Men from the Marvel Universe. But that's what they're doing. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Picked up Uncanny X-Men issue 2. Following Magneto's team, and the Dark Riders, who, if memory serves me right, were servants of Apocalypse, are killing healers because they don't want them. For some reason, they don't want them to heal the Mpox virus that's been happening. I don't know why, but that's what they're doing, and it continues in Uncanny X-Men issue 3. Now, I imagined that this was going to be like X-Force, where they don't take any prisoners, but they've been kind of really light on the whole getting rid of the mutant problems enemies. That made no sense. Magneto and his team have been having difficulty taking down enemies. Of course, this story arc is still continuing, but they've seemed very light as far as how they're taking out the bad guys. If they don't take out the Dark Riders, I'm going to be like, this is supposed to be a really badass extreme team, and they're letting them walk. That's stupid. Picked up Only Wolverine, featuring the Wasp. This is issue 5. I'm digging Only Wolverine. I love that they made a legacy character out of Lara X-23, and she's taking up the mantle of Wolverine and running with it. The storyline is interesting because she's teaming up with clones of her, but they don't have the healing factor, so they're a lot more susceptible to being killed. And I like what they're doing with Laura, and I hope that she continues being the only Wolverine for a long while. But there has to be, I guess, there has to be a Wolverine in the universe, and this is Old Man Logan. This is the Wolverine from the far future in that alternate world where he killed the X-Men and the villains, took control over everything. Apparently he doesn't remember anything that he experienced in the Secret Wars miniseries. He just wakes up one day in the Marvel Universe, and he thinks that he traveled back into the past, even though it's a different world. he thinks he traveled back into the past, and that he can change what happened to the world. And he makes a hit list of people that wronged him in the future. And if he figures that if he kills them in the past, that won't come to pass. So in issue 2, he decides to go after Bruce Banner, and he fights Amadeus Cho, the totally awesome Hulk. And it doesn't go well for him. He gets his butt kicked. This series also supposedly happens before Extraordinary X-Men. So this is as far as I know, the only Marvel series that doesn't make the jump 8 months, because between Secret Wars and the Marvel Universe, as it is right now, 8 months supposedly happen, and Wolverine is the only book that it supposedly shows what happened in that 8-month gap. But honestly, how much can he really do? It's eventually he meets and joins the Extraordinary X-Men, and this is a watered down version. It's cool to see Wolverine back, but it's a watered down version. His healing factor doesn't work as well, and he's not really that extreme. He goes very lightly on Amadeus Cho, but of course he couldn't kill him because he's the new Hulk now. And the last book I picked up is Wonder Woman issue 48. Still digging Wonder Woman's current status. I don't know if I should still pick up Wonder Woman. It's one of those books that I'm thinking of dropping. I still like what they're going, but I don't know. I need to get rid of something, and Wonder Woman might be on the chopping block. I'll follow through to issue 50, but if something really extraordinary doesn't happen in issue 50, I definitely might drop it. So yeah, that was the collection pick-up video of the comic books I picked up. Old Man Logan is interesting. I would definitely recommend that if you're a Wolverine fan, or if you like the Old Man Logan, even though it does feel like a neutered down version. Because the Old Man Logan series ended on a really, really high note. And this Old Man Logan seems, understandably he's confused, but he seems like he's not the same character, if that makes sense. Only Wolverine, definitely recommend that. Love that she's a legacy character now. Swamp Thing, support Swamp Thing, because I really want to see Swamp Thing back. Also recommend Superman, Lewis and Clark, personally, because I love this version of Superman. The new Superman just isn't cutting it. I mentioned before, Darth Vader is an amazing series. It's an amazing series. The writing is awesome. They really get Vader down, and no reference to the last crossover. And also these Deadpool books. Gotta love. Right now, Deadpool's really hot. He's been hot for a while, but now because of the movie, which is amazing. If you haven't seen the movie, watch it. It's really cool. But Deadpool's big right now, and they're pushing Deadpool comics like crazy. This thing is happening at the same time, when it's usually just once a month. And I don't like the monthly books. I prefer this because you get Deadpool teaming up with a lot of different people that you wouldn't normally see, like this one with Cable and this one with Spider-Man, or sometimes he's fighting zombies in Night of the Living Deadpool. Sometimes he's killing the Marvel Universe, and Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. The only one I skipped was the Hawkeye one and the X-Force one. But this one's going to end in issue 3. This one's going to run 6 more issues, and I don't know what the next thing is going to be. But if it's not something big, I might actually, not pick it up. But this one, I had to pick it up because it's Cable, and this one I had to pick it up because it's Spider-Man. So these were pretty awesome. So yeah, that was the pickup video. Like always, thanks so much for watching. And until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, thanking you and signing out.